What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Burndown YouTube channel. So today we're going to kind of pick up where we left off on the chin spoiler for the Boom, which is right here. Ta-da! So this was the cardboard piece. It's not a cardboard, poster board piece. Sorry. That we hung under the front and kind of got a view and went, hey, that would be kind of cool, I think. Like, that's our jam. So today's efforts are going to be, I mean, you can see, like, it's decent, but we're gonna get like actual measurements and make sure stuff is kind of symmetrical for the most part. And then we're gonna try to make this out of metal. I've got sheet steel in the very back of the shop, which I'm gonna have to try to wrestle out. When you're handling sheet steel, especially big sheets, you know, wear your gloves, be mindful. Thing goes to fall or does some stuff, don't try to, you know, get a hold of things and grab stuff. I mean, sheet steel, it's basically like you're handling a giant razor blade. It's terrible. So just be careful, please. Especially if you're new to like making things with sheet steel and you think you're just gonna hold it and walk around and be like, oh no, like, anyway. So we're gonna try to wrestle a giant piece out of there, and I have all kinds of obstacles in the way, so that'll be terrible. But if we can get it out, I'm thinking we just throw it down on the ground, and then we kind of put this on there and we get measurements. And I don't have the tools, which kind of stinks, that are large enough to really make the bends and stuff for this guy. And I'd like to kind of make it all in one piece. I don't want to have to make it in sections, weld it together, because we're going to use it as like a buck. Not really a mold, but I guess you can call it a mold, because I'm going to try to do composites, and I have no idea really how to do composites. I just throw some stuff and some things and mix it around, and you put the goop on there, and then you put the whatever underneath it and it glues it and you make stuff, right? So that was a technical term, by the way. We're gonna try to make a fiberglass splitter or whatever that thing is called for the front. So try to make this out of metal. That's the goal for today. If we get something decent, maybe we kind of clamp it up and look at it and ooh ah, which would be really awesome. But I have to also think about the excess and the flanges and how it's gonna mount and bolt up. So we'll make sure we get all of that stuff and we'll transfer it hopefully to a big metal shape. And if I can do it all in one piece, cool. If I have to do it kind of multiple and stitch it together, at least I know how to do body work, so I can kind of correct it after. It looks like hell after we mold it, but that's the plan. So let's see if we make this out of metal, get something we can kind of look at and go, hey, that might be cool. And I don't know, that's today's plan. So let's get rolling. I wrestled a piece of sheet steel out from behind my stomp shear. It's funny because it has a little bit of a bend in it, but I think that'll be okay. But this is a little thicker. I want to say it's like a 20 gauge. The other one I have was thinner, and it might have been easier to work with, but I don't know if it's as good to hold up with the weight of the fiberglass and resin and everything. So unfortunately too, this is a big giant piece, so it's gonna smoke this nice piece of sheet steel, but whatever. We're here to do projects, I guess. I'm not here to collect sheet steel. So what we'll do is, this is essentially the size, so I'm gonna actually take real measurements and kind of make sure that the curves and everything are kind of symmetrical. And then on these lines that I have, we'll make sure that we do real straight lines. And then this is the curve that I was attaching it to on the car, and then it just was, you know, just hanging down for a visual. But I think we need to bend this up. I can't have it angled. It's got to be a 90, because otherwise you'd see it kind of hanging down, which would be weird. So like I said, this would be the attachment point to the bumper and to the fenders, or to struts, or however we're going to attach this to the car. And then this is the bottom, so I don't want it just a straight piece. I'm going to do a little 90 on this side too, so we'll have to compensate and measure for that over here. However big that edge is, I don't think it needs to be terribly big, but it'll also give it rigidity, which will be kind of nice. And then I guess if we have that edge, we could kind of shape, like when you bend this around, you guys will see, but it kind of had like this shape to it. So I could use this edge on like the shrinker stretcher, I think, to really get whatever the shape it is that we want. But man, all my tools are buried in there. So at least this is on wheels, and my shrinker stretcher's right there. So let's just see if we can get through this part, make it flat, kind of figure it out, and then maybe fine tune it. And I'd like to hopefully clamp it to the bottom of the car like we had before, but have like a much better visual than just a piece of poster board. All right, so here is the layout for the most part. This wasn't the best template I've made. It's made in like 60 sections, and I had like the blue masking tape, so it wasn't 100% square. So I tried to square stuff up, you know, on here for the most part, so we can make nice cuts, have nice angles. And then this is our overall size, so this is what you're going to see on the car. This is going to be a flange that's folded 90. This will be the same flange, so it's basically like a U shape. So this will come this way, and that's how you're going to attach this. And this will come in, so when you look at it from the front, it's not just a flat piece. It'll have a little radius lip for rigidity as well. Because if it was just flat hanging down, you'd have to make it pretty damn thick so it didn't just flop around. You put that little brake on it, boom, you got a lot more rigidity and you can use less material. So we straightened it up. I used a string line. I used pretty much everything I had kind of laying around. And then I'm gonna try something. I watched a video. You guys watched me make the pan, and I scored it, right? Because on these flanges, I have to fold them up. I don't have a brake long enough. If you had, yeah, I guess you'd still need a finger brake. Anyway, you'd need a pretty long finger brake, and then you could put the little blocks in and come and do this. Well, I scored the other ones, and I just took my 4-inch grinder and just did it by hand, and they weren't as long. This is a pretty long run to do that with, so I could put like a little fence and then score against that to make it straight. But somebody said you just use a razor blade, and if you score it real good with the razor blade, that it'll leave that line there, and the sheet steel will follow it when you fold it. Because I'm just gonna, after I get this thing cut out, we'll throw on my makeshift bench over here, and I'm just gonna hammer and dolly and beat the edge up to a 90 is the plan. So I'm gonna score it with this, and we're gonna put that to the test. So thank you whoever left the comment on that. We'll see if it works. I've never done it before. So like I said, I'm gonna score it a bunch, and then hopefully it works out, because this would make life a lot easier, because you don't have that 4-inch blade, and then I can use a piece of straight angle or whatever to put down and then to pull against for the score, so that way we could get a real nice shot at it. But either or, when you hit it, it's gonna wiggle a little bit anyway. And again, we're building race car stuff. This isn't like showstopper, whatever. You know, I'm crawling around on my knees on the ground on this thing in my driveway. What do you guys want? So let's score it. Let's see if it works. And then I got some like electric scissor things. I'll show you guys how we get this cut out for like the DIY guys. I got them from Harbor Freight. They work bitchin'. So let me score it. We'll get the little scissor guys. I'll show you. And then we'll get this thing kind of cut out and cut down, and see if we can fold some lips up and kind of make something that looks like, what is this thing called? Chin spoiler. A chin spoiler. Here are my awesome shears that I got. So I think they're well, I think they're not plugged in for one, but these are like a Milwaukee, I think, ripoff. But I have them for like 30 bucks or something, and they work pretty damn good. I haven't really done any, like, you know, they're all rusted and stuff. I don't take care of nothing. But yeah, they work when you plug them in. So let's go plug them in. And then the only thing is, you got to elevate this deal. So we'll kind of have to find something for it to lay on so we can get this underneath it. And then they cut the width of the blade right here, so there is some waste. It's like a 1/4 inch, so you got to be on basically on this side of it, like you're cutting that way. And then this is the line you want to cut. You got to be like here, blah, and then you go, and it makes a big curly Q. So let me go plug it in, and we'll cut this shape out. And then remember, this is our outside line, this is our fold line. And yeah, let's see how we go. Here we go. Here's my floppy noodle panel, and then I just use the gate for the excess. So we'll do this on camera because I never tried, and like I said, a guy told me, so I scored it. I know you probably can't see it, but so it's where it's shiny. So let me just try one little lip here. We'll try this guy, and I think what we'll do is we'll put the dolly here, and then we'll hammer it from the edge this way, and we're trying to fold both of these up. And then once these are all folded up, then we'll bend this, and then I even scored this part too. So let me try it on camera. I'll let you know how it goes, instead of me trying it and then come back and go, oh, it didn't work, or it did work, or whatever. I'll let you guys watch me whack this thing and see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. This is like a 20 gauge, so it's not terribly strong. Let's see if we can just get an edge rolling. Not rolling, started bending. We'll go like so. We'll go gadget, hammer. A makeshift table. It's flexing. So far so good. Just putting the dolly on the line and then giving a little bit of love tap. See if we can get it to fold up where we want it to fold. Now, I'm gonna say negative on that guy. So I'm hitting it and it's starting to fold, but there's a radius, like see how it's round? So maybe if I went the other way with it, maybe that's the trick. But I'm saying, nope, not for me. That's not gonna work. So put it back down, and then I'll grab my little blade here. We're gonna score it, and then we'll come back and do this. So let me do that. Thank you for the tip. Maybe I didn't score it enough. I don't know. Leave in the comments what I did wrong. The only thing I can figure is like maybe I need to go the other way instead of into the score, like away from it, and it would break right there on the score. But I don't know. I'm just gonna do it the old faithful way. Let's do that. Then we'll come back and whack this thing, and hopefully make a shape out of it. So now you can see the score marks. So all I did was just grab Old Faithful down there, and then I just took my time, and then we just cruised along. So see the score mark? You can see them. Look like a racetrack, baby. Look at that, quarter mile. And then same here. So now, when I whack it with that, boop, it'll fold like butter right where I need it to. So let me try that on camera and show you guys the difference, at least. And then again, I'm gonna fold into it. So maybe that was my mistake on the last one, but let me just whack this in real quick. We'll see if it folds up or if I look like a clown. And then I'll bring you back when we actually have a real shape. But let me hit it real quick and show you the difference. That way it's a freshie. We'll just smack it, and then we'll do this same edge, the same little short guy. Same technique. The old smackaroo. So there you go, the old tried and true. That's a really sharp corner. I guess it'll be fine when we put all the goopy in there. So anyway, let me do that to the rest of this dude, and then when I fold this over, we'll have to cut and relieve these so that these have to go 90 on either side. But let me fold all these up first, and I'll make those, and then we'll show you kind of what she looks like. Ta-da! We've got our rain gutter looking deal. It's pretty straight, right? So you got that angle that I was talking about, and then this should be the side where it connects. We're gonna find out here in a second, but it's a straight shot. And I wanna say that thing kind of had some give to it. I don't think it was as straight, obviously, as like the steel. So what we'll do is we'll put this up there, and I'll get a marker and we'll mark it. And I have a thing called a shrinker stretcher. So I think what we're gonna do is probably put a little bow on it and flat in the middle, and then a little bow on the outside. Is kind of what I'm envisioning, so it's not just a dead straight nuts deal. And then I think we'll be happy with that. But we'll try to get those little clampy guys, stick it underneath here, and make sure we fit widthwise, and it's kind of in the ballpark, because there's no reason to start working on it and curving things and making it have a little more style than just a flat board if it doesn't even fit, right? So we have a little fitment that we got to work on, and I thought maybe we would have to manipulate it because it was like straight, and then it would look cooler if I kind of mess with it. But for being like a straight piece of gutter, I don't think it looks that bad. So the fitment issue we have is, you know, I have all these little guys on the bottom, so it's not flush, you know, but size wise here, and then kind of how we stick out, I think we nailed it. High five. So, and then same over here. So you can see obviously this thing's, you know, holding it down, and then we got like this guy, and then over here we've got a bit of a gap, but again, I think mounting it properly is funny because it almost looks like the bumper bows, but we could figure it out because this is obviously mounted. We can loosen all this stuff up, get this guy to mount to the bumper. Ow, I think I just cut myself. Get this guy to mount to the bumper properly. That hurt, man. And that's why you gotta be careful with sheet steel. And I want to get a fitment that we like. You know, you can see the gap or whatever. And again, that's probably just this thing. This is just a flimsy fiberglass bumper already. But when we come back next time, we'll work on getting this thing where I like it, because then we're going to use this to make basically like a mold or a buck or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how to do composites, but we're going to kind of try to learn a little bit. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think the boom will look good with that guy on there. And then I got to actually raise it up just a little bit anyway. But check it out, man. It hides that whole freaking mamma jamma that's behind there. So that is killer. I like it. I dig it. And then again, we can always do like a little shrink stretch, so it kind of curves in, and it's a little more flat right here, and then so let me know what you guys think. I'll take your input on it. But yeah, the chin gutter spoiler thing is kind of neat. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna wrap it here. We got a little more stuff to do. We'll kind of work on it and massage the fit on it, and then I still got to collect the stuff to do the fiberglass portion. I have some mat or whatever you call it over there, some stranded, it's not stranded, woven over there, but I don't know if I have enough, so we'll have to kind of figure that portion out. And I got a buddy that does this stuff too, so I'll kind of pick his brain. He was trying to get me to go carbon, and I'm like, man, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm not wasting money on carbon fiber. So we're going cheap. We're gonna get it done, and I'll be stoked on it. That thing's awesome. And then I guess at a certain point when we go fast, we'll do a wing too. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. Till next time, I'm out.